Right now, we are driving over to the Scuba Ranch over in Terrell, Texas, because they have something that nobody else has.
A giant metal shark. But wait, why does this little lake have a giant metal shark in it?
Well, just like Wheeler Branch Park from my last video, which you should totally go check out by the way, link in the upper right hand corner, Scuba Ranch is a scuba park, which means it's a place for divers to come out and dive.
And there's a lot to dive and see. There is a wide array of wrecks, from planes to boats, and a motley crew of wildlife such as catfish, bass, turtles, and even freshwater jellyfish. But the folks at Scuba Ranch wanted to spice up the diving scene even more, so they added a giant metal shark to their list of underwater features. And they have lovingly named him Sisco. Let's go find him. Sinking into the waters, the first thing I see on the dive is an old training platform. You know, the kind scuba instructors use to teach skills to beginner divers. The structure is covered in a thick layer of growth and attracts small schools of minnows, and those minnows attract much larger fish. Not far off, I spot the first proper wreck, an old sailboat. It's not in the best shape, but hey, at least the steering wheel still works. And funnily enough, as I'm checking out the wheel, a small green sunfish swims over to check me out. I then head over to the sailboat's bow, find a guideline, and swim until a new shape begins to emerge from the distance. It's another, even larger sailboat, and this one has a doorway you can swim into. So of course that means I have to go in. Swimming inside, I'm greeted by a skull, which was most likely left behind for a bit of cheeky fun by other divers. And then I notice the ceiling. With so many divers swimming here, a layer of air has been trapped inside of the boat. It's even dry when I stick my hand into it. It's also pretty fun to just mess around with. Anyways, there's not much else to see, so it's time to go. So I pick one of the window spaces and squeeze through... Oop. Weight belt got snagged. Give me just a moment. There we go. Much better. Where was I? Oh yeah. I leave the big sailboat and continue down the guideline to not one, not two, not even three, but 4 platforms back to back. I knew scuba instructors liked teaching diving at this lake, but holy moly, this place is really popular for scuba skills. The guideline then ends at a rocky slope, and besides a staircase that leads to shore and a couple fish, there's not really a whole lot here. So I turn around and I start swimming back, but not before I goof off a little at the platforms. And a bluegill gets a little nibble of my camera strap. Once I make it back to the big sailboat, I take another chance to swim inside, give the skull from earlier a little kiss for good luck, and then make my exit through the ceiling hatch. I then find a new guideline, which takes me to a floating PVC square. I spot the Incredible Hulk hanging out, so I give the strongest Avenger a quick bro fist before continuing on my way. But my swim is short-lived as the line leads me to another rock slope. This one with the gnome being eaten by a shark of all things. Alright, let's turn around and do it again. After a bit of swimming, I return to the first wreck I found on the dive, swim over to its stern, and go down another guideline where I find the 3rd sunken boat of the dive. This one is quite a bit smaller and a little bit more bare than the other two, so it doesn't take a whole lot of time to swim around and see everything. However, further down the line is something much more interesting and far, far larger. Emerging from the green gloom comes a toothy maw, Sisco the shark, and he is enormous, with fins as big as I am and a body stretching over 50 feet long. Sisco is basically a freshwater megalodon. However, as I swim around this metal monster, you're probably wondering, how exactly did Sisco end up here? He's not exactly like a boat which can be floated over and sunk. Sisco was a bit more of a challenge to get from shore to depth, requiring the use of a crane and a crew of specialty divers to get him where he rests today, happily eating divers. Speaking of which, slowly I swim through the shark's jaws, careful not to snag myself on any of his teeth until I'm quite literally in the belly of the beast. It's dark and difficult to see, but I can spot a light at the end. However, anyone who's been swallowed alive knows exactly what that means, so I opt for a different exit strategy. I turn around and swim back the way I came until I pop out of the mouth that swallowed me. Sorry, Sisco, this diver is off the menu. But after I escape Sisco's jaws, I notice a little tag attached to the guideline with a heading to follow. So I take my compass out, and in a few fin kicks I met with the empty fuselage of a giant plane. Its cavernous opening leads to a dark and slightly spooky interior with growth covering the windows and panels of the floor missing. Not only that, but the water is filled with flecks of growth and murk, most likely kicked up by other divers who got here before I did, which makes it a little challenging to see, to say the least. But after a little bit of looking around, I managed to find the cockpit and see if the controls are in any working order. Nope. I don't think this plane is going anywhere anytime soon. It's here at this point that my air is starting to get low, so I head to the surface, make my 3-minute safety stop, and end the dive.
Whew. Good stuff.
Which means we're at the end of our adventure at the Scuba Ranch. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and leave a comment. It helps me grow this channel and bring you all more adventures. I'll see you guys on the next one.